It's just a number. Today on Fortitude through Stoicism, and this is my 365-day journey of implementing the ancient philosophy of Stoicism into the life of this modern masculine man. And no, we're not talking about a body count number. So we're talking again about mortality. And this month is really creepy because it's really all about death. And I'm really kind of struggling to push through this because once you get it, right? But anyway, Marcus Aurelius Meditations. You aren't bothered, are you? Because you weigh a certain amount and not twice as much? So why get all worked up that you've been given a certain lifespan and not more? Just as you are satisfied with your normal weight, so you should be satisfied with the time you've been given. So I've dabbled with this one. I struggled and I pushed this lesson off because I wanted to reflect on this one a little bit more. But I continue with Ryan Holiday. They say that age is just a number, but to some it's a very important one. Otherwise, women wouldn't lie about being younger, and men, young ambitious men, wouldn't lie about being older. But rich people and now biohackers and billionaires are looking at all kinds of different ways to extend their expiration date. You know, the average age is 78 in America. They want to live forever. So, the number of years we manage to eke out doesn't matter. Only what those years are comprised of, right? So I talk about this. It isn't the start and the end. It's the dash in the middle. You look at Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great died in his mid-30s, 33, 35, somewhere in there. He is also known for conquering the known world. His dash, although very short in number of years, is very long in experience. And so that's why, again, I don't worry about getting older, right? It doesn't affect me. Why? Well, I'm on a mission. I'm on a very specific mission. I said it to myself as a kid. I've said it to myself as I've grown up, and it's a very private one that I've kept to myself. I'm chasing a certain mission. I will get there. And so I look at people like Sam Walton. He didn't start Walmart until he was in his late 40s. You look at Colonel Sanders, didn't start KFC until he was in his mid-60s, maybe even late 60s. We flourish when the environment is right for us to flourish. And that's where I've really come to understand Stoicism and this eudaimonia, and it is really about a flourishing. It's about, and I talk about your best self, but your greatest flourishing is the truest extent of living the life to the greatest possible, to the greatest way possible. So I use the metaphor of a great oak, right? Mighty oak, big, beautiful leaves, healthy leaves, but just at its absolute boldest and biggest during its life cycle. That's its absolute flourishing. But that oak tree will never get to that grand stature, that growth, without the adversity, the wind knocking it back and forth over the years, right? The sun, the snow, the rain pounding on it. That's the adversity of life, which is required for this ultimate flourishing. And there's no rule when that happens. There's no rule that happens. Hey, as a young man, hey, it happened for Alexander the Great in his 30s. Maybe for me, it's my 50s. For Colonel Sanders, it was his 70s and 80s, or his 70s. The number of years that we manage to eke out doesn't really matter. It doesn't. Seneca puts it best when he said, life is long if you know how to use it. Life is long if you know how to use it. So let's look at some people, right? Let's look at options. Some people disassociate, distract themselves, avoid life, right? They come home, get a few drinks, sit on the couch, watch TV, flip through social media, all these distractions away from reality, their real life. Because I got to be honest with you, when you're done scrolling, those problems are still going to be there. When you're done watching, those problems are still going to be there. When you're done doing whatever it is you're doing to distract from what you need to really do, it's all still going to be there, and then there's going to be more, right? And that's where we get overwhelmed, because we don't attack these things. So age is just a number, and I use them for reference points. They're KPIs. The number is a thing. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. So my income level, it's a KPI. It's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I'm not bragging. I'm not complaining. I am stating a fact, right? And that's how I look at all of these numbers. I'm 46 years old. That's a fact. It's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I'm not giving any other perspective or any other reference other than the thing is what it is. So because I don't know how long my dash is going to be, the only thing that I can do is make sure that I'm living each day to the absolute fullest, so I don't waste it. I don't waste a single day. Not ever. Not ever. Not anymore. I did, but not ever. Never again. Because it is too precious. There's too much amazing stuff to learn, to see, to experience, to feel. I don't regret my past because they taught me the lessons of today. I don't look at all that time as wasted time. I look at it as time that I learned wasn't the best way to use it. So remember, it isn't the size of the dash in the middle, it's the impact, right? Think Alexander the Great, small dash, big impact. So I don't know how long my dash is going to be, and whether I live to be 46 or I live to be 76. All I know is that I'm going to take everything that life has to offer, and I'm going to return that energy abundantly back into the universe. And so someone asked me recently, because I said, hey, I don't wear American flag anymore. I used to wear a lot of grunt style. And the story behind the grunt style stuff was when I rode the Harleys. Their t-shirts, they actually just didn't stretch. So you could ride, all day long, and the t-shirts stayed, they stayed nice. Whereas other t-shirts in the wind would flail it, and you get these weird ass sleeves in your t-shirt. So, and again, I was patriotic, and there's some veteran sayings there. But again, every single one of them had an American flag. And being a combat veteran and serving in the Marine Corps and the Army, I had a level of patriotism. I do not see myself as an American citizen anymore. I see myself as a citizen of humanity. As soon as I started reading philosophy, as soon as I started opening my eyes, the myth of American exceptionalism evaporated. I'm going to say that again. The myth of American exceptionalism evaporated as soon as I opened my eyes and my ears and my heart to the possibility of other ideas, other people, other things. That's why it's important to use that dash. Had I stayed isolated, had I done that, I would have never had the experience that I've had. I've never had the growth that I'm having. So use today. Use every bit of it. There is 24 hours in this day. I want you to use it like a... I almost just said something naughty there, but I won't. I want you to use it. I want you to use it, abuse it, make it yours. Every single bit of it, every single day. That's a gift. That's the gift. We wake up and bam! You have a whole day. You can change your world. You can change someone else's world. You can observe the world. You can be a student of the world. You can participate in it. But each one of these days is never guaranteed. And the age, it's only a number. And on that, shower time.